What's up, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Armada Prime in our first edition of the Transformers Armada week, potentially more than a week. So here we have the cab by itself, and it looks really good. Now you'll notice I don't have all the parts to the set, but still, on its own merits, it's still a very nice little truck. Now if we bring in the trailer, it gets even sweeter. Combined, this thing looks really cool, and it really looks like the cartoon. Now, if we bring Overload in, you can also attach it, but it's kind of weird in the fact that only the front pivots and the secondary trailer doesn't really pivot, which is really weird. Now, of course, I don't have Jetfire, but as a replacement shuttle, we can use Skylinks, and I actually think this doesn't look too bad on it, and really does make for that, that look that it definitely has if you've ever seen the toy, and it looks really cool, looks very good. Very good. And it's also a very long boy. It's a very long boy. There he is with Megatron. And I actually think in this mode especially, they scale really good and look really good. Like, that looks about accurate. Like, if a tank was next to a truck, I think that looks good, Alright, now let's get them transformed up. Here they are in their base robot modes. Now, I don't have the Minicon that goes with Overload, and Optimus still doesn't have, all of his parts. But you can still get the kind of main idea across, especially with Optimus. He looks really good, especially reminding me of his video game counterpart. I mean, because it's based on this design, obviously. And his head is really cool, and it also has a talking feature.
It's made to contain the China virus.
I think when Optimus Prime isn't combined, he actually looks extremely good with Megatron. Scaling pretty good, actually. This is how I see their scale, You always got to have the bad guy a little bit bigger than the big guy to give the intimidation. Here they are fighting, and I think they look good. They look good, man. They look good. So, on his own, he's really good. I definitely think that you should get this. But there's a lot more to the story. Now, I just got to bring this up. I don't have the batteries in it, so it doesn't, cause a fire, because that did happen to someone. But that means that it makes this awful noise. Oh, that's not supposed to be a ratchet joint. That is a full-on gear system. So, yeah, this will probably be one of the last times I transform this guy, because this is gonna break the figure. And here in his full combined mode, let me just tell you, his stature is to be beholden. He is absolutely massive in this A stance. It's hilarious. That's all he can do. You can just A stance. But, he still looks absolutely great. He just stands there, and he's a freaking brick. But he is beautiful. The gold paint looks great. And he's also massive, as you can see. He towers over Megatron. This scale is terrible, but I love it so much. He's even taller than Tidal Wave. Like, that's insane. Like, this thing is massive. And I love it. It's just so cool, man. It's massive. I actually do think he looks pretty good with his troops, though. I think that they scale pretty good, because Red Alert's definitely too big. He should probably be more the size of Hotshot. And I think at that point, they would actually scale really good. Well, and then Optimus would have to be smaller, too. I also want to point out that he's got a dump truck, man. Oh, my God. That boy is thick. His legs are thick. Extremely, extremely long legs, so I wouldn't recommend you look at it from the side. Now, if we bring in Overload, his robot mode isn't much to look at, but you can also transform him into these fucking dope shoulder cannons, and they just are great, dude. They go on top of his shoulders, obviously. They're shoulder cannons. Also, there my hand is. My hand's really big, by the way. So, Tidal Wave's a much more appropriate scale comparison than my hand, but still, he's massive. And with the shoulder cannons, this thing, like, it appears even bigger. Like, it looks even bigger with the shoulder cannons on, which is insane, because it was already massive. Now it just is even bigger. It looks even bigger. It's insane. This thing's dope, man. I got this thing for like less than $15. I got each part for like $5 each, which is insane. Of course it isn't complete, but I would definitely recommend you get this thing, because this thing is crazy good. Now, I know that there's supposedly a new one coming out, but I don't really know when that's coming out. Of course, it was on the Legacy Evolution poster. But, this old toy, even though he's a brick, he can't move much, he is still amazing. And if you're really into chunky toys that have a lot of functionality, this is your bag. So I just saw the pictures online for this, and to be fair, it's pretty cool that you can actually have a combined alt mode. This actually gives this trailer something to do other than be legs, but the connection kind of sucks.